What's up, motherfuckers? 6 Foot Ben. I'm enjoying a chilada, which is Bud Light beer with clamato juice. I'm drinking it out of a styrofoam cup because I'm sitting in my car. And you're not supposed to do that, right? But there's no kids in here, so it's cool. Just going to the store. Alright, so I know that last story I told you was kind of a bummer, man. Dog fights, shit like that. So I'm gonna tell you another bad trip story that I got from I think it was the first year of Bonnaroo. I went to the first 3 Bonnaroos. That was back when it was all hippie jam bands and shit, before Beyonce and shit like that started hitting the stage. It was all the Dead, Widespread Panic, String Cheese Instant, blah blah blah, Les Claypool, tons of good shit, right? But anyway, so I'm there with my gang of friends, my friend Brian, he owned a big screen cage company. He did all the screen enclosures for pools here in Naples, Florida. He had a lot of money, so he was a good guy to have with you, and he was like my best friend too at the time. So as long as I smuggled the coke, he brought it. I was the smuggler for him. I smuggled fucking an ounce of cocaine on a plane to fucking Red Rocks Amphitheater for his ass. Because he took care of me. So hey, so Brian was from Long Island, so he's like always tell like, yo, dude, yo, where's Ben? Yo, you got that coke? You like coke? All right. Anyway, all right, so we're all hanging out. It's me and Brian and his girlfriend and a couple other people that we're with, and we score a bag of mushrooms from this guy, which isn't hard to do at Bonnaroo. And so we each take like probably we each took probably like 3 grams, right? So we all take our mushrooms and we're sitting by this big like oak tree. I remember that. And we're laughing our fucking asses off, man. I mean, I remember like we were laughing so hard, like my stomach hurt for like 3 days afterwards. Um, every time we'd see like a kid walking around like with like a Beatles shirt or something or a Jimi Hendrix shirt, you could always tell those were bought at Target because Target sells those rock and roll shirts. So every time someone walked by, my friend Brian would be like, Target, Target, Target. And we were just laughing our asses off, man. So I'm having a great time. The mushrooms are coming on nice. Bands are going to start playing. It's probably like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and we're just having a good old fucking time. And the mushrooms are kicking in real fucking strong. And this girl comes up and that I know, and she's like, dude, you gotta go see Government Mule. You gotta come on, you gotta go see Government Mule. I didn't really listen to Government Mule very much, but apparently I had to be there. So she walks me down and she skirts her way up to the front. She's holding my hand, pulls me up all the way to the front. We get like to the fucking front row of this fucking thing. Now, I don't know if you guys know what Bonnaroo is. Bonnaroo it was a big fucking festival. It's a big festival. There's lots of people there. So I'm tripping my balls off. And when I get to the stage, I'm just looking around, just like, trip my balls off, waiting for fucking Government Mule to come on stage. And I made the mistake and looked behind me and realized that there's like 150,000 people deep behind me, all trying to get to where I am. So I'm starting to like freak out, right? Like, it's like I'm going to get crushed up here. It just was scary seeing all those people behind me and knowing that it's going to be hard for me to get out of here if something happens. So anyway, Government Mule comes on, it's everyone starts dancing, I'm dancing and shit, and I'm starting to trip really fucking hard, man. And this dude is next to me and he's got this big jug of water and he's like, dude, you want a sip of water, man? You gotta hydrate. I'm like, yeah, sure, man, because at the hippie festivals, everyone's just all nice and we'll just drink water after each other because sure he doesn't have herpes, right? But that's not even part of the story. So I take this sip of water. For some reason, it just hits my throat wrong. I think it's because it was piss warm water. It might have had LSD in it or something, but I don't know. Right from the moment I took that sip, shit just wasn't right. Right. So all of a sudden, I start having this feeling like there's a needle in my throat. Am I tripping ahead? There is a needle lodged in my throat that I just swallowed with that sip of water. And I'm thinking also LSD. So I'm thinking, I just swallowed a bunch of LSD and a needle. I think I even called it a syringe. I told a friend of mine here, I'm like, yo, dude, I gotta get out of here. Something in my throat. I think there was like a syringe in that fucking bottle, the water I drank. And, he's like, what? Man? I'm like, yeah, man. So I get out of the crowd, man. I start, I hustle it out. I get over to some, over the side by, the porta potties and shit. There's some big garbage cans there. And I'm like, ah! And I'm gagging myself. I'm trying to throw this needle up, because I'm afraid to swallow. I'm afraid to swallow because I don't want to swallow this needle any deeper into my throat or into my stomach and shit, because I would suck. I'd ruin the whole weekend. So I'm gagging myself trying to throw this fucking needle up. And every time I get done puking, I feel like I got it out. But then all of a sudden I can feel that needle come back. And it's poking into my neck. And I can feel it. It's like, it's back. So I start gagging myself again. And I'm just gagging the fuck out of myself trying to throw up this fucking needle. My friend Brian shows up, the Long Island dude. And he's like, yo, what the fuck's wrong with him, man? What the fuck's wrong with him? I swallowed a needle. He's like, and then everyone comes up. They're like, what's wrong with Ben? He's like, yo, Ben swallowed a stingray or something. I think he swallowed a stingray. And I'm like, it's not a stingray, man. He swallowed a needle. And I'm gagging myself. So all of a sudden, this kid shows up, man. There's a white knight in my eyes, man, because he comes up to me. He's like, dude, here, sit down. Here, talk to me. He's like, what's wrong? I said, I fucking took a sip of water and I swallowed a syringe. And he's like, okay, look, you're tripping pretty hard. I'm like, yeah, I'm tripping my balls out. He's like, yeah, okay. Now look, I think your throat's just dry, dude. Your throat's just dry. You need to drink some water. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to do that. I'll swallow it. It'll fuck me up, man. I don't want to swallow it. He's like, dude, trust me. My mom's a nurse. Okay? He's like, let me check you out. So he checks my pulse, right? And he looks at his watch. And then he's like, let me look in your eyes. So he looks at my eyes. He's like, okay, look, my mom's a nurse. I'm telling you, you just got a dry throat. Your throat's just dry. You just drink some water. For some reason, him telling me his mom was a nurse was all I needed. That just set me straight. Like, well, this guy fucking knows what he's fucking talking about. And if anyone knows how to deal with it, dude that swallowed a stingray or a syringe, it's this guy. So I'm gonna listen to him. So I started pounding some water, and sure enough, the stingray or syringe disappeared. It was fine, and everything was fine. It was all right, and. Crazy thing though is like a year later, it was actually at Bonnaroo again. I go to Bonnaroo again. I'm there with my friend Jason, and we had eaten some mushrooms, and we're all tripping. And I looked over at my friend Jason, and he's sitting over there like, I'm like, yo, dude, what's wrong? He's like, dude, there's something in my throat. I'm like, yeah, it feels like a needle or something. He's like, yeah, man. I'm like, your throat's just dry, dude. Trust me. So that kid saved my fucking ass, man. Saved my fucking ass, dude. Because I would have sat there and gagged myself until I fucking died or something, man. So in the future, if you ever run into someone that's having a bad trip, tell them you're a fucking doctor. For real. Say, look, I'm a fucking doctor. Or just say your mom's a nurse. Either one will work. But maybe just say you're a doctor. and check his pulse and give him a clean bill of health, you will save that bad trip from even starting, man. So that's my story of Bonnaroo. Hope it's better than the dog fucking fight story. All right, guys, have a good one. And yeah, try some Clamato beer, dude. It's fucking good. If you like Bloody Marys, shit's the bomb. All right, later.